Chris the Nightmare Ariola, and you're watching Mission Boxing Today on YouTube.
Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, so Eddie Hearn did a interview with Sky Sports, and the article made boxingscene.com. So I'll leave this article in the description box for you guys if you haven't checked it out already. But he says Bellew Haye rematch would be best for December. Okay, I'm gonna read what Eddie Hearn had to say. Give my quick opinion about this. He says, I think David's injury, although it looks like he might be ready for October, November, we leave it for December to make sure he is 110% so that he can prove that to the fight fans in his preparation for the fight. The public want to see the rematch, although I believe Tony can beat WBO champion Joseph Parker and become heavyweight champion of the world. Part of me wants Haye rematch so that Tony can show he can win that fight without any excuses. In order to make the rematch, Hearn quickly cautions that Haye must humble himself by accepting the fact that this time around, Bellew is the A side of the equation. Tony is up for the rematch, and the biggest thing for him is getting the respect in the negotiations that he had to cower to in the first fight, Hearn said. All right. We were given the opportunity to fight Haye in a deal that Tony didn't believe was fair, but ultimately I convinced him. We were glad we took that fight, but there were elements and aspects of that deal that were condescending. Very simple. Tony now wants the flip of that deal. He wants what David Haye had last time and vice versa. Haye needs this fight badly. There is no other fight for him other than Tony Bellew. On the other hand, there are many fights for Tony, but it's not a case of going to Haye and holding him ransom. Haye said after the first fight that he knows there are many things he has to do in the rematch, and he has to give Tony respect. If he does that, then the rematch can happen and can be done very quickly. Okay? I'm pretty sure David Haye can fight whoever the hell he wants to fight. I mean, he still is David Haye. He can use that, hey, man, I got hurt in my last fight. I mean, he can still use that. So I won't say there's nobody he can fight. But as far as making some big money, the Bellew fight may be number one on his list. I know, in this date, the December, it seemed, that's about right. Because when I heard Tony Bellew talk a few weeks ago, he was talking about he wants to return in November, December. Then I also heard, or November at least. And then I heard David Haye, as he's rehabilitating that ruptured Achilles, I heard him say towards the end of the year. So this date sounds about right. As, Eddie Hearn mentioned, he said he believes Bellew can beat Joseph Parker. I know that's a fight that's been talked about. I've heard Tony Bellew throw his name in a conversation with Deontay Wilder. But I'm going to just stay consistent, man. I would rather see Bellew Haye rematch. Have it close to, Bellew's hometown this time. I think that'd be good. I think it'd be a great atmosphere. And then, he can just kind of clear the air a little bit and fight David Haye again. And although it's not his fault that Haye ruptured his Achilles, that's not his fault. You know what I mean? But a lot of fans just want to see how that fight goes if Haye doesn't rupture his Achilles. Now, to Tony Bellew, he did, I believe, after the fight, he said that he broke his right hand, in the second or third round. So he was fighting that fight with an injury himself. So that's the fight I would want to see. As far as the title holders, Joseph Parker and Wilder, just want to be consistent, man. I want to see unification. I still want to see Parker versus Wilder. I've been I've been wanting that fight ever since Parker and his team came out 3 days after they beat Andrew Ruiz Jr. and they started to talk about it. So I'm just staying consistent with what these fighters are saying and their promoters, So they said they want unification with Wilder. Wilder has always, he continues to shout unification and want to fight Joseph Parker. So that's the fight I want to see. And I want to see Bellew versus Haye rematch. So just getting this little bit of news out there, man. You guys let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Do you want to see Bellew Haye rematch? Do you want to see it in November, December, or do you not really want to see it at all? Do you want to see Tony Bellew drop back down to cruiserweight? I know he is champion emeritus for the WBC. They elevated what's my man's name? Marius Briedis. They elevated him to full champion. So I don't know, man. Does he want to really drop back down, or does he want to, stay at heavyweight and try to cash out and get one of these big, title fights? But to me, it's like, man, he needs to get in line for that. You know what I'm saying? He needs to get in line. There's guys like Luis Ortiz that need a title shot. Just, I'd rather just see him fighting a rematch. Now, if he wins the rematch, then we can start lining him up. in other fights like that. But you guys, let me just think in the comment section about this, man. I'm out.